Okay, so Amy Johnson, she has 4 small children. She homeschools, and she's the founder of Amy's
Atelier.
It's a natural artisan laundry soap, and the website I've seen is way cool.
Oh, thank you.
It's really cool, and I think she has a couple samples there.
She's amazing.
But she's going to teach us all about the Ameo line, things to do with oils, more than what we did. She's going to just go in depth a little bit for the next 2 hours. So just she's going to go for about 20 minutes or so
until you get bored.
Until we grab that big can and pull her out. But she has a really huge knowledge of the oils, and we're really excited that she volunteered to do this. So
I don't know if it was volunteer.
I wrote her in, but she was so generous. It's like the Hall of Fame. She was inducted.
She was volunteered to do this.
Volunteered, yeah.
We're going to have her come up and speak to us.
Okay. Yes, I have 4 kids. 9, 7, 4, and a 2-year-old. And I wasn't a big oil person years ago. I only used a couple things like tea tree, just no name brand tea tree oil, and I use that for my face because it helped with the acne. And that was just my experience with oils, and that's about it. And then when I got into here, I saw how cool it is to have fun with oils, and how so many oils there are, and how each oil is so unique and so different. They can help with so many different things, and you can use each one with so many different things. And that was the fun for me. It's kind of like cooking, where you're experiencing with oils, and you're having fun with oils, and then you start thinking, okay, well, maybe I can add this one with this, or I can add this one with this, and it's all about the experience of it, and that's how you learn. So, is anybody new to Ameo? Do they know who Dr. Plant is? Okay, well, Dr. Plant, he's a great guy. He's extremely friendly. He's a family man. I love his wife and his kids. Very, very sweet. He basically used science to set the standard. And Dr. Plant, he graduated early, #1 in his class at Harvard in biomedical science. And so his oils, he made sure that his oils were clinical grade. And so that they were cell permeable, they were cell active and cell permeable, being able to enter live cells. And so that was the biggest thing, because sometimes if you don't have a pure enough oil, your body uses the energy to break down that oil to get to the pureness of it, and then is able to use it. But if you have it straightly pure, then your body's able to just absorb that, and it's better for your body instead of having to flush out the toxins that might be in the oil. Because what happens with oils, when oils are created, they go through all sorts of processes, and sometimes they have to pull things out, and they have to use chemicals to pull certain things out, and sometimes those chemicals will bond and stick to the oils, and they'll still bottle that and ship it out. But he made sure that we were only finding the most pure of oils, and he did. And if it's not, he'll get barrels of it. If it's not pure, and if it's not cell active or cell permeable, then he actually sends it back. He only takes the most pure oils, and that's why we don't have all the oils that are out there, because there's still certain oils that they're still trying to find of the most pure. Now each bottle, since you raised your hand, each bottle, you can take the sticker off.
Use the frankincense right there, Amy. It doesn't have a sticker.
Okay. I just wanted them not to get lost. AGS cleanse. Okay. There's a bottle, there's a number at the bottom of the bottle, and every oil has a number on it. It's called the batch code. And if you go on, it's called the Ameo difference. So if you go on the ameodifference.com and you type this in, it'll show you that this batch of oil was tested specifically, and so that it is cell permeable. So we have the proof right there that we know what every oil that we're getting is cell permeable, cell active, and clinical grade. And what's that one website that, is it PubMed?
Mm-hmm.
So PubMed.com, they'll do tests and things like that with oils, and you can get, there's something, I mean, I'll get into it later, but I have what's called catamenial epilepsy. And so we looked up what helps with seizures. And the oils that they use to do tests and studies on at PubMed.com are actually clinical grade. And so it talked about like peppermint and being able to 100% help with seizures in rats. And so, but they use clinical grade oils with that. So if you use any other type of oil, you might not get the same result or the same effect. Does that make sense?
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
Maybe with PubMed, the reason that's so cool is because it's a completely third-party like source. So you know that it's what they're saying is true. It's not coming from our company. So a lot of time people are stressed out about that because they're like, okay, well, you're saying this because it's your company, but this is a complete third party.
Yes, yes, exactly. So we're so glad we have Dr. Plant on our team. He's an amazing guy. One day you'll be able to meet him. He's great. And then Penuel, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
I love Penuel. He's awesome. He has a great personality. He talked about it earlier, but the grandfather of essential oil. So there's lots of other essential oil companies that actually sought after Dr. Penuel, wanted him on his team, because if they have him on his team, then more people say, wow, this must be a legit essential oil company, because he's so good. He understands the oils and all the effects, and he discovered, what oils? Helichrysum? Do you remember?
I think it was helichrysum, and
he works with Dr. Frank Cohn,
Yeah.
who discovered helichrysum and
That's what it was.
tea tree,
Yeah.
and a number of other ones.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, a great guy. So he works with Ameo, and that's why he did this one, right?
yes.
Was there another one that he did, or was that?
That was the main one he formulated, but I think he was kind of consulted with the toothpaste as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's a great. I remember the first convention that I went to with him there, and he's showing us how to use oil. So he's lifting up one pant leg and showing. So I was with Danielle, and I'm really yelling at him and showing us his other leg, trying to be funny, and he got all embarrassed. The next convention, he like stripped down and was like showing us
Into a
full body.
Speedo.
Yeah, into a Speedo. Like, who is that?
I know.
Wow, he's not shy.
No.
He's funny. I like him. Let's see. He's written a lot of books about oils. He's done so much research. I mean, he takes his time to travel around and to experiment more and to research more about all certain oils. And he's on the path to try and discover even more oils. And so he's definitely empowered many individuals and families to take charge of their health. He understands the importance of using clinical grade oils. That's what his venture was, to make sure that he was only using clinical grade oils. So when he found out that Ameo was using and doing the research with clinical grade oils, he wanted to be on that team. He supports that. Let's see. One of my favorite quotes. You think wellness is expensive? Try illness. I love that, because today and age, I mean, medical bills can be so expensive, insurance, things are just skyrocketing. And I feel like when I was a little girl, I've always wanted to be a nurse. And that was something that I wanted to do. And I still want to take some nursing classes. But when I got the oils, I'm like, wow, I can do this for my family. I can help heal. I can help my family feel better just by what I have in my cabinet at home. And so for me, that's kind of something that I'm happy about that. In a sense, I can be my own nurse in my family with my kids and my husband. This is us. So River is the oldest, Honora is my 7-year-old, and then Mason is my 4-year-old, and then Emmeline is my 2-year-old, and then Ryan, my husband. Okay. All right, I just want to go talk a little bit about children. Now, in the beginning, I used to do calming blends, and I still have calming blends, but I usually use I did lavender, I did pure tranquility, tangerine, orange, and frankincense. But instead of, I don't really like to call them calming blends anymore. I like to refer it as help them to feel better blends. Because children, sometimes they act out in different ways, and that's kind of how their only way to express those feelings is crying, throwing a temper tantrum, or things like that. And for her, that's what it was. You know, she would throw these temper tantrums, and I didn't understand what she was feeling. And so we would put oils on her, and it really, just the smell of it helped her to calm down. And but now with her though, she loves oils and she loves roller balls. So if you don't have any roller balls, go on Amazon, buy a bunch of roller balls because they are heaven sent with children. But what I usually do is I'll get a roller ball and, well first, if she's throwing a temper tantrum, all I have to say is, hey, let's go pick out some oils. And immediately she just changes. I mean, that's just her personality. And so we go over to the cabinet and I pick her up and she picks out what her favorite oil is. And that's why it's that's why I call it the feel-good oils, because you have to figure out which oils are good for your kids, which oils they like specifically. And some of my kids, it changes every week. And so I'll let her smell you don't want to do any of the hot ones or the hot oils, but let her smell some of the oils and she'll pick out which oil that she wants that week. And so I'll do maybe half a fraction of coconut oil in a roller ball for her, and then we'll pick out which oil that she wants, that she likes, and we'll put maybe 1 or 2 drops or something like that. Very little, so it's just a hint of that smell. And then I'll close it and I'll give it to her and she'll spend minutes and minutes, not hours, but minutes and minutes of just like rolling on her feet, on her belly, on her chest, and just playing with the roller ball. And she loves it.
What size roller bottles do you use?
They're about this big.
Because there's like...
Oh yeah, not the big ones. Just really small ones. And those are nice. But I have like specific roller ball. Oh, you have one right there. And I have a little bit, the ones I get are a little bit bigger than that. But I know you can find any size probably on Amazon. But I have specific roller balls maybe for like nighttime or sick or things like that. But for her, she has her own. And that's what makes her happy. Now River, my oldest, she really likes lavender and orange. Those are her 2 favorite oils. So when something's stressful for her, then I grab those specific ones just for her. And she loves the smell together. My other one, she just loves the citrus ones. And so we just use my second oldest, my 7-year-old. She just likes the citrus ones. My son, he likes whatever I put on myself. And so for him, all I have to do is hold him, and he just breathes me in, and then he feels good. So it's whatever mommy's wearing, that's his favorite. So that works. And then she likes to pick out which one. And sometimes that changes from day to day. One day it's orange, the next day it's lemon, the next day it's lavender. I mean, you find out what their favorites are, and because we're different. There's some people that don't like lavender, even though that's a universal calming scent. And so you kind of find the ones that are your favorites, or their favorites, and use it on them. But one way to use a roller ball, like she said, was to use it on the feet. And that does, because your body will absorb it. Take time to rub it in, because it does help push the oils through and gets through to your whole body. And some people actually have said that they've actually been able to taste it minutes later in their mouth, just because it's been able to travel through your whole body through it. But smelling is the best way to get it directly into your bloodstream. Like how some people do drugs, things like that, or why do they sniff things up, is because it directly gets in their bloodstream, and that's why smell is so important. So when you're smelling oils, it goes directly into your bloodstream, and it can start effectively working on your body and healing your body. And so when I'm rubbing on her or any of the kids, I always put just a tiny small amount on her, especially hers, just a tiny bit on the palms. You never want to put it on the tips, especially for young kids, because you don't want them touching their eyes. You just put it on the palms and let that dry a little bit before they, move around. But then just let them breathe that in while you're rubbing the oils on. And that does wonders. If I had somebody rubbing oils on me every day, I should talk to Ryan. I would feel happier too. I think anybody would. Okay. I use essential oils for potty training, and it has worked amazing with my son. So this was a year and a half, 2 years ago when I was using this on Mason. I was researching, I was researching and I read that cypress oil actually helps is very effective with potty training. And it worked wonders with him. So what I did, I just diluted just a couple drops with coconut oil, and I rubbed it on his abdomen. And what it helps, it actually tightens your muscles, and it actually helps blood flow. And so when it's rubbed on the abdomen, there's a lot more awareness to his abdomen, and he'll be able to tell when he needs to go potty a little bit better. And so it's just giving that body an extra help to have that awareness. But at the same time, I would also do leg and arm squeezes, also known as like body awareness massages. And that helps with potty training too. But you pick his, again, find the favorite oil. And so after I rubbed on his abdomen, I find his favorite oils, and I just do leg and arm squeezes. So not like a massage, but like actual squeezes on the arms and legs. And it actually helps children realize where their body is in space, in a sense, if I'm making sense. But it does help, because it's interesting, because after I did it with him, each time after I did it, a couple minutes later, he's like, oh, Mom, I gotta go potty, when normally he would have just peed in his pants. And so I was able to take him to the bathroom, and he was able to tell me when he had to go potty, because he was more aware of his body and the signals that the body was giving him. Some other oils. There was this one time where, I can't remember where I was going, but I had to do something. I need some focus. And so I used determination, and I was diffusing determination in my kitchen and in my living room. And it was filling up the entire house. And it's a pretty strong smell if you haven't smelled determination. Anyways, I was in the bathroom, I was getting ready, and I come out and I find my entire family. Ryan, he's not in the picture, but he's over here, and they're shooting at him. But they're all up there, and they created this pirate ship. And I'm like, what is happening here? It just changed their mentality, and they just like started working together. And it was funny. So I'm like, okay, I gotta start taking pictures of this. But it was cute. It was really cute that they had, and so you have to be careful to diffuse determination in your home. You don't know what's going to happen. There's going to be some major forts going on, which is fun too. Okay, I want to talk about burns and Nana, who's my husband's grandma. But first, Emily, one time she put her hand on the pan. Of course, she got burned, and you can't see way over here, but there was, little tiny blisters. Almost looked like it was just a spray of water, but it was just blisters all over her hand. And so the first oils that I grabbed was lavender, helichrysum, and peppermint. And the reason why lavender is because it helps soothe burns. Helichrysum is what is called liquid stitches. There's another term for it, and so that helped with the healing process and giving the cells what it needs to be able to repair itself. And then I use peppermint because it creates a cooling effect. And it just creates that icy feeling that she needed and wanted. And so if you notice the bottle that she's holding in her other hand, Ameo sells small versions of, because you get the big sprays and you can get smaller ones and smaller ones. I think there's like 4 different sizes, right? Anyways, and I love those. So you'll have to make sure you have a bunch of those on hand just for things like this, where you can call it a burn spray if you want to. Anyways, I mixed that with water, and then I would just spray it and just let it sit on her hand. And she went from uncontrollably sobbing to having this more time to breathe and just being able to be okay. It just felt better because of the soothing and the healing and the cooling effect that she was looking for. And so she would just sit there on my lap for, I don't remember how long, but it was a long period of time, but she was able to stop the uncontrollable sobbing because it hurt so much. But this was helping her to feel better. So after it dried, she kept asking for more. And so every time it dried, we just kept spraying it. And then within days, I think it was the next day, the blisters actually had gone down. And then the following day, it was still a little bit red. It was just pink though, and it looked like it had almost completely healed. And so oils have such a powerful effect on the human body.
Is that equal parts?
Is that what?
Equal parts of lavender, helichrysum.
Yeah, you know what the fun thing about it though is there's not specific recipes for everything. And so if you wanted more helichrysum in it, if you wanted more lavender, you could do that. So there's nothing, I just did the same. If you wanted more peppermint in it to have it more of a stronger scent, then do that. So there's no specific guideline to how many oils you have to use for certain things. Grandma, Nana, she came to live with my husband's grandma. She came to live with us for a time. She has already passed. But she was her health was decreasing and decreasing at the retirement place that she was at, or not retirement, it was an old folk home, what's it called? Assisted living, yes. And her health was completely going down. And you know, older people, they have really, really thin skin. And so she had hit her leg on the side of the bed, and it just cracked open. And so she had this huge wound on her leg too that wasn't healing. Even with the antibiotics that she was getting, they were having creams for her, but it was getting worse and worse, and there was more pus that was coming out of it. So and she was barely even walking. She couldn't walk anymore. So she came to our home, and we started, the nurses that were coming, they would come every day, were trying to heal her wound, and it kept getting worse and worse. And finally I'm like, well, of course they have oils. So I went and did my own little concoction. I did lavender, I did helichrysum, I did frankincense, and because she likes frankincense is actually good for her skin as well. And cypress, because of the blood flow, it helps blood flow. So I mixed those all together, and I sprayed it on her leg. Within a week, it had already crusted over and was healing. When before, there was so much pus that was coming out, and all their antibiotics that they were using were not working. Actually, it was making it worse. But it had completely crusted over. Within a week later, new skin was coming over. I mean, it was amazing. And which also kind of makes me think, because you know, older people have really, really thin skin. I'm like, well, if we keep taking care of our skin and giving it its proper nutrients, hopefully when we're older, we won't have that really, really thin skin that will break if you try and massage it. And that was her. When I massaged her hands and her arms and her feet and her legs, I had to be really, really careful because you could easily break her skin. So I had to be really, really soft with her, which made me want to make sure that I would make sure to take care of my skin now. Another thing with her, she got a UTI, and so she got some antibiotics for that. And the doctor or the nurses would come and they would put some cream on her, and it kept getting worse. I mean, she was in so much pain, and so I told them to stop. The nurses stopped, and I came down and I did a little of my own mixture, and I had just a little bit of tea tree oil. I mixed some fractionated coconut oil, and I did lavender. And it was helichrysum too. I'm trying to remember which. It was a while ago. But you can kind of, and that's the fun of essential oils again. You can kind of figure out what oils you want to place for that. But anyways, I knew that tea tree was one of the most powerful. What's the word I can say?
Antibacterial.
But that's not. I can't say that.
Antimicrobial? You
Yes.
can't say antibacterial?
Oh, I don't know. Can you?
I don't know.
In this room we can.
Okay. The strongest. Okay, it's the strongest antibacterial out of all the oils. Okay, and so I would spray it on her, and of course, she was really embarrassed because her grandson's wife is helping take care of her down there, and so I'd spray it all over, and she always gave me these eyes like, "Get out of here!" But within days, it was gone, absolutely gone, and she just felt so much soothness down there. And she actually would beg me. She's like, I need more, because it just felt so much better for her. But anyways, that was a neat experience. She loved it. And we were giving her some oils to take as well. She went from not being able to walk at all to be able to have the energy to get up and move around the house. And that was fun too. Oh, this other time, she's in the wheelchair sitting in my kitchen, and she couldn't help a lot. And she's this Italian woman. She's like yay high. She can make a mean meatball, but she couldn't cook as well anymore because she was older. And so I'm in the kitchen, I'm making spaghetti, which was her thing. And she would just sniff the air and just tell me what I needed to add in there. And so she's like, oh, you need more onion, and smell, you need more garlic. And then she's like, you need more basil or something like that. And I kept putting in the herb, and it wasn't strong enough for her. She kept getting irritated because I wasn't putting enough of the herb in. Finally, I grabbed my basil, I put a couple drops in there, and I stirred it around, and she's like, yeah, that's enough. I'm like, she was a funny lady. She was a very strong personality, but we had fun with her. There's all sorts of fun things you can do, like Play-Doh. This is a great recipe. I wish I should have put the recipes down on paper and given them to you, But you can also go to my site. It's Ames, my Instagram. It's not Rich Soul Oils anymore.
The last slide has it on there.
The last slide has my Instagram on there. If you go on there, you can go through all the recipes. I've changed it more towards my laundry soap, but if you go previous, you'll find all the recipes that I've used with oils and things like that. But Play-Doh, this is amazing. So I made this set right here 2 years ago. I still have some of these colors, and it's still pliable, and it's still super soft. You just have to make sure you keep it in really small or, no air baggies. But the fun thing about this, though, my kids love this. And I call it therapeutic because you have the Play-Doh that you made, and then you cut it up, you give it one to each of your kids, they decide the color that they want, so you put in the dye for the color, and so they're mixing the color in, and then they decide the scent that they want, their favorite scent, so you put in their scent that they want, and then they're kneading that in. And so it becomes this therapeutic Play-Doh as they're breathing in the smell and playing with it. And the nice thing about it too, it actually helps keep it clean, having the oils in there. It helps keep it sanitary. That's the word I was looking for. It helps keep the Play-Doh sanitary. Okay. Let's see. Clean action. So one of my favorite parts of oils is being able to, I replace just about every cleaning thing in my house. And my main 3 that I use, I'll do a cleaning one, because I was a huge Clorox person, Clorox wipes. That's all I use, a Clorox happy woman, mom. I use that for everything. Now imagine being able to replace that for everything. I mean, I use my cleaning one for bathrooms, for the gunk in the bathroom, and that's all I use. But again, you can decide what you want to put in it. They have Pro Shield, and it's right here. They have Pro Shield that they basically use. It's like the cleaning blend. I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's not up there. Anyways, it's basically the cleaning blend. So you can just do 20 drops in a bottle this big. Okay. We can get some bigger ones too that we use that are like commercial grade in the picture, and I'll use maybe like 30 or 40 drops. And you can, if you like more of a lemony scent, then add some more lemon in there. And lemon also helps. There's lemon in Pro Shield. It's also another cleaning agent. So, but if you want lavender in it, then put lavender in it. Okay. So there's no specific recipe in it. And then I also have a window spray. And all you do for a window spray, you can do the same oils for the cleaning one and just add vinegar in it, and that's it for window cleaning. And then the other one is a room spray that I usually do. So what scents do you like? Do you like the citrus, the holiday? You can add cloves, cinnamon, or lavender during the spring, or maybe you just want Pro Shield. I love the smell of Pro Shield. And just spray that around your house. Spray that on your couches, your bed, your pillow. Going in your closet and spraying your clothes to keep moths down, or they eat the clothes. Is there anything moths? Yeah.
They actually are eating the food that's left on the clothes, but in the process they eat the cloth as well.
Yes, that's gross.
Just a little FYI.
No, that's, yeah. Okay, yeah. So if you spray that in there, it helps deter those type of bugs too. So those are my main 3 that I use. Okay. And just knowing that I've changed my cleaning products to something healthy that I can breathe in, and it's doing good for me and doing good for my kids, that I feel safe with and feel safe about. So this one day I caught her using one of my bottles and trying to spray it on her feet.
That's awesome.
But I didn't take it away from her because it's like putting oils on, rubbing oils on her feet. So she was having fun cleaning her feet with the oils, which is totally fine. I use the oils to clean the toys. So all the Legos, we dumped it into a sink or bathtub, and we would put Pro Shield in there and just mix it around, and that's what we use. We used to pour Clorox in the bathtub to clean the Legos. Not anymore. I used to have headaches. I used to have really, really bad headaches every time I cleaned. And my hands would actually get really red because I was so sensitive to the Clorox. And I just thought that was normal. But now I don't get that anymore. And I actually feel good cleaning, and I want to clean. So
you're coming to my house, right?
again, it's really good for like sinks and drains. You can put oils down there to clean out your drain, so it's not so smelly. So yes, are they safe internally? Yes, they are. There's only a few oils that have like a safety cap, like this, that kids can't open, that you should not take internally. There's only a few of these that are like that. But for cooking though, I love it. Now remember, if you're going to put it in to bake something or to fry something, the oil will get cooked out for the most part. So what I usually do is if I'm making chicken, sometimes I'll put it in a sauce with the lemon and let it sit with the lemon for a little bit, but I'll also drizzle some of the lemon on top after to get that flavor again, because it does get cooked out when you bake it. I love it in frostings, like on cookies and stuff. I did sugar cookies with this whipped cream frosting on it. Am I going over, or is that? Okay, so anyway, so I do it on frosting, so yummy. I make homemade applesauce and I put cinnamon in it. So good. And you always and I put it at the very end so it doesn't get cooked out while I'm cooking the apples. On blueberry lemon muffins, I have this lemon glaze. I use a lot of lemon. It's easy to use lemon and citrus oils in the kitchen, a lot more than most of the other oils. Teas, adding it to teas, a cleanse. I did this body cleanse, but also happened to me this morning, because if you ever want a natural body cleanse, get asked to present, because everything will get flushed out. But yes, I'm cleaned out. Okay, but we did, sometimes we'll do body cleanses, but the nice thing, we talked about doing cold water and stuff, but warm water is actually better for you than cold water. And it actually helps with your digestion tract, and it helps, that's why if you're constipated, drink warm water. It'll help flush things out. It's good for those intestines to have that warmth. It also helps with pain, like headaches to menopausal cramping. Like if you're adding a warming pad on your stomach, if you're drinking warm water, it actually soothes the muscles. And so I drink this every Supermix, but I actually been drinking it with warm water, and it actually tastes really yummy. I was always drinking it with cold water, and this morning, it's funny, this morning I'm drinking it with warm water. He's like, you know what? Because I'm trying to convince him to try it with warm water. He won't. And my husband, he's like, well, kale's healthy, but I'm not drinking kale, am I? So, but it's really good with warm water, and it's actually better for your metabolism as well, is the warm water. So I put in salsa lemon, giving that hint of lemon is actually was surprisingly really yummy. So again, just experimenting. I put it in my acai smoothies, delicious. So experimenting with oils, and just start with 1 or 2 drops. Mix it. If you need more, then add another drop. Don't start out with 5 or 6 drops.
Yes, these are all her pictures. These are all things she's made. Yeah.
Butternut squash, I use some salad dressings. Salad dressings with citrus oils, so yummy. Thanksgiving's coming up. I brined and glazed my turkeys for the past couple of years with essential oils, and then adding oils into the glaze at the end as the turkey comes out. So when you're letting it rest for 15-20 minutes, I would put the glaze back over with some of the oils, and it's delicious. But I injected the turkey. I mean, I injected the turkey with tons of butter, but I added some oils in there, and you inject the turkey with that. Amazing the tenderness and the flavor of it, having that hint of oil in there, of the herbs. I usually do the herbs, like the rosemary, clove I'll put in there, and some of the citrus oils in there. Okay, my last thing, sorry I'm going over, Ameo gene expression. I don't think we have any of them up here, but I was really wary on trying the AGX women's one. So there's the AGX women's and there's the AGX men's, okay? There's so many health benefits to both of them, but the reason why I was weary on even trying the AGX women's is because of my catamenial epilepsy. My seizures are all hormonal based. When I'm ovulating, I'm more susceptible to seizures. And so it's the progesterone that actually helps me better. So when I get pregnant, which was a miracle, by the way. So one time I was having seizures, I had this feeling to get pregnant. it was going against my doctor's family, friends were like, you're nuts, trying to get pregnant. I get pregnant, seizures completely went away because of the boost of progesterone I needed. We didn't find out later till after what was really going on. But so I was really worried about that because this will help normalize your hormones. And so for me, I was like, I don't know if my hormones are normalized, will my body be more susceptible to seizures? Like I was really worried about. So it took me a couple months for me to actually try the AGX Women's when it came out. I started, and so now, or before, I'd have progesterone cream, and I would rub that on my legs, anywhere that was thinner skin, and it was like a high of progesterone, and it immediately helped me feel calm. And that's what I was always using. Well, I started trying the AGX Women. I have been off the progesterone cream with no seizures. So it's a miracle with that. It helps my hormones completely balance, and there's a lot of other wonderful side effects, positive side effects with the AGX Women. Now men, and it's also in your, can I say that, in your sexual relationship as well. It boosts up your wanting to be with your husband. And it's funny because it does the same thing with the AGX Men. Ryan was taking it, and I had to actually stop him from taking it twice a day because I'm like, this is not okay. So he went down to once a day, but it still was a little too much, and so we had to like do every other day or every 2 or 3 days. And it normalized the men's hormones as well. And so, anyways, and he, yeah. So, but there's so many other AGX blends, and I'm still kind of learning some of the other AGX. Oh, they have AGX Skin. I love that one. Like mixing that with your creams and stuff and putting it all over your body. I love that one too. So, anyways, one of my favorite quotes, do you think God had a plan for our mental, physical, and spiritual health before we came here? I completely agree. I think God prepared this earth with certain herbs and certain plants that will help us with our mental health, with our physical health, and our spiritual health. He wouldn't have just cast us or put us down here without anything to help us go through this life. So I love these oils. I love Ameo. It's a great company, and the oils have done amazing things for our family, and I'm having fun. I'm still learning, okay? It's been 2 years, but I'm still learning, and I'm always going to learn and how to combine oils. But that's the fun about it, is you experiment with it and have fun with it, and let your children experiment with it as well. So that's it.